The only negative was I wish we had a bigger room. 6IWM, WA6ED.
Okay, thanks, Ed. K6IWM here, Mike in Lone Pine. Let's see, we've had some pretty good weather. It's been up in the 70s until maybe yesterday. It was the first day in the 60s. It's supposed to be like mid-60s, something like that today. Right now it's about 35 degrees outside, which I really haven't been outside yet. Let the dogs out. That's about it. They enjoyed it. Yeah, not a real busy week. Bishop Radio Club had their meeting on Tuesday night. Power supply for the Silver Peak repeater. Mammoth repeater runs off, their repeater runs off solar. So it's only one that we really need to worry about, a power supply. But we budgeted like $13,000 for that. And that's coming from a gift from a Silent Key. And that's just about a little less than half of the gift. So a really generous donation from the Silent Key. Don't think I knew this person, but he was really popular in the group. So good news about upgrading all the repeaters. So that'll be good. Of course, two of the sites we can't get to until the snow goes away. And Mammoth Mountain just have to hop the gondola, but still, if we do antenna work, which we plan to do, we need to get on the roof of the building, and that's sort of snow-covered right now. And you can go to Mammoth Mountain's website, and they have webcams all over the mountain, including the top of the gondola station at the top of the mountain, and you can see their antenna arrays, and they have a lot of antennas up there. It has good coverage. Our repeater covers over in the San Joaquin Valley pretty good, so that's really fun to do. So, besides that, did a trip to Ridgecrest for Wally World, and another one to Bishop for a pharmacy run. Bishop's 80, Bishop's 50. I mean, Ridgecrest is 80, Bishop's 50, so a little bit of driving for 1 week. Okay, that does it for me this time, and good to hear you back, Chris. Hope you had a great trip. I heard you a little leg or ankle injury. Hopefully that's recovering pretty good. So over to you, KR6ISS from K6IWM.
Okay, Mike. I think everybody's going to be able to hear the fact I got a cold. The cold was probably from somebody on the flight, 12-hour flight back from New Zealand. So I only got the cold after I was already back here. I did have a couple of hard falls hiking on the islands, which one of them did a pretty good job of hurting my left foot, and I've been dealing with that. It still hurts, but it's not hurting as much as it used to. But it was pretty bad there for a while. So I had a feeling that because of the roughness of this situation, of this place, that it was going to beat me up, and I didn't have any disappointment. It was a tough one. What you're seeing is millions and millions of penguins and birds and sea mammals, and it's just unbelievable amounts of life in a place that it's totally hostile to people, and it's a weird deal, to say the least. So I got hundreds of pictures of all kinds of stuff. And I'm just sitting there and having to carve through this now. Yeah, it was a different place, and I don't think I'll ever do anything like that again. But it was. I felt I had at least once in my life experience subantarctic islands and see what it's like. And boy, I got to see what it was like. On the ship, it was fine. It was a nice ship, 400-footer, great meals. Everything was warm and comfy inside the ship. But as soon as you go out the door, you're in a different place. And just going back and forth from what it was like outdoors and what it was like inside the ship was a shock. It was two different worlds. That was shocking itself. Anyway, I'll move it on to Lou. I think I sent some pictures of the trip to you, Lou. Here's 6ISS. Take it, Lou.
Contact? Oh, go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead, contact.
Contact? Go ahead, contact.
Hey, good morning, Fred. This is George, N6VI.
Just checking in.
Oh, good morning, George. You got a great signal this morning. No problem at all copying you. Stick around for a while. Not a problem.
Yeah, we'll be here. Just taking care of a few emails, and we'll listen up. N6 VNI Lager.
Okay, very good. Thanks for checking in there, George. It's been a while. Okay, Lou, pick it up, sir.
Well, good morning, everyone. This is KG6FCT. Chris, I have not seen the pictures yet. I just looked at my email and didn't see it. Maybe you could try again. I do go through my emails every morning. And I may be sounding a little bit like you. I don't think I have a cold, but I am a little nasal. Haven't figured out why yet. And this week I did a little antenna work, and I'll talk about that on the next go-around. So with that, I'll turn it over to George, N6 VNI. This is KG6FCT.
Well, good morning, Lou, and good morning, all. This is George, N6 VNI in Alhambra. Just the standard problems and issues to deal with on a daily basis. Had a little touch of bronchitis, pneumonia a couple of weeks back. Thought for sure that the doc was going to put me in the hospital, but I sort of wormed my way out of that deal and gave me some meds and took care of it. And just doing a daily basis around here in the house. So with that, I don't know who to turn it over to, so I guess I'll hand it back to Fred and move on. And this is George, N6 VNI.
Okay, very good, George. N6 VNI in the group, WA6LDI. Well, I'm glad that you're feeling better. You're recovered from the possible pneumonia. Well, you did. You said pneumonia and bronchitis. Glad that you're back on your feet again there, so to speak. All right. Well, please, by all means, keep checking in as long as you can. It'd be really great to hear from you. It's been way too long. All right, let's go. Let me see if we can bring anyone else on board at this point. Again, this is WA6LDI. Net control for the Soara Sunday morning 40-meter net. Do we have any other stations wishing to check in at this time? If so, please come with your call now.
November 6th, Juliet, Charlie, November.
Okay, numerous stations there. I heard N6 JCN Jim. There was at least two other stations. Please come again.
N6MEL.
EIW.
Okay, I copied WA9EIW, and it was one more station.
N6MEL.
And there's Mel, N6MEL. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you very much for checking in. The topic this morning, we're just going to toss it up, and you guys can bring any topic you'd like to talk about. So let's pick up Jim, N6JCN. Jim, when you're finished with your transmission, pass it on to WA9EIW. EIW, pass it on to Mel, N6MEL. So N6JCN, to pick it up, this is WA6LDI.
Hey, Bill, you missed Dale. He was trying to check in.
Well, thanks, Mike. Okay, let me also get Dale here into the list here. All right, very good. So N6JCN, pick it up, sir.
Oh, good morning, everybody. N6JCN. Up in the mountains, up in Fonscan. Flew up here on Friday and enjoying the 4-day weekend. And I'm still tuning up. Phil, let me do a quick signal check. Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear, Jim. 5.9 plus, probably 10 dB over.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I have my usual antenna matching issues. And I think while I'm tuning up, I'll turn it over. I think it was to EIW. I didn't get the first part of the call sign.
Thanks, Jim. It's WA9EIW, and beautiful morning here in Seaside, California. And I've participated a couple times in the group. It's good to hear everybody. Sometimes I sleep a little past 8, but Other times I'm up at 6 and we're wondering, what nets are out there. And good to hear from N6JCN up in the mountains. I didn't catch where in the mountains. And it's been a little cool around here in the evenings, but really decent temperatures during the day. And I'm back to hiking. I pulled a muscle out of my shoulder, so I've been recovering for a couple of weeks, but everything's good now. And it looks like I'm supposed to pass it to Mel, N6MEL from WA9EIW.
WA9EIW and 6MEL. Well, thanks a lot. Well, things are doing well up here in western Sonoma County. Beautiful day today. It was, I think it was about 68, 70 degrees yesterday. So, working on the antenna. I've got an end-fed half-wave. One leg of it is up in the redwood tree about, maybe 100 feet. It's almost 100 feet. And it comes down to the backyard. And I've been having some high SWR problems, so I moved it to the other side of the house, and it looks like I'm almost flat across the band, which makes me real happy. I don't think it really helps on the signal, but I'm still working on it. Haven't turned on the amplifier this morning, so I would be interested to know how my signal is getting out. Keep this going, and Dale, I did not write down your call sign, but it's over to you, Dale, and 6MEL.
Well, thank you, Mel, and thank you, Phil, for running the net. Yeah, I got up just a little bit late today and had some stuff I had to do before I could jump on the radio, so sorry about the late entry, but nonetheless, it's a beautiful day, 62 degrees right now, and so it's going to be warming up a little bit. I think it's going to cool down later in the week, and somebody was saying it might be some rain on Friday, but hopefully no rain on Saturday for winter field day. And I'll pick it up on the next round. Back up to Phil, WA6LBI.
WE4BY.
Okay, very good, Dale. There was another station in there as you were turning it over to me. It was a little weak. That other station, please come again.
Yeah, Whiskey Echo 4, Bravo Yankee, Greg in San Clemente.
Okay, got you that time there, Greg. WE4BY. Very good. Any other stations?
W6TSJ, Whiskey 6, Tango, Sierra, Juliet, Tom in Laguna Niguel.
Okay, W6TSJ, Tango, Sierra, Juliet. Tom, welcome aboard, sir. Any others? Okay, we have quite a turnout today. It looks like we have 20. Wow, this is a record. 12 people checked in this morning. Alrighty, we had WE4BY. Greg, you pick it up, then pass it on to Tom, W6TSJ. I don't believe I'm missing anyone. Did I miss a station by any chance? No, I guess not. Okay, Greg, pick it up, WE4BY.
All right, yeah, thanks, Bill. Yeah, just like Dale, running a little bit late. I had the radio on. I was in another chat group, and I suddenly realized it had gone past 8. So I'm sitting in my driveway this morning. I had a 400 XDR VHF UHF radio that shorted the output transistor. So it was outputting just a couple of watts, which wasn't enough until I bought a new SWR meter. My old one was broken. I couldn't tell I was only putting out low power, so I couldn't figure out why it sometimes worked and sometimes didn't. It just it worked, but just not very strong. So it's kind of crazy. So I had the old one apart for a long time, and I just never got around to ordering parts. So I finally broke down, and for $300, I got a Yaesu FTM 150R, I think it is. Basic plain unit, no APRS, none of that. No fusion, no APRS. So it's just straight VHF, UHF radio, but it's dual band, dual receive and all the rest of that. So still kind of cool. So I can talk to most of the on-road groups. The politics. That's what I'm up to today, sitting in my driveway. So I'm probably weaker than usual. I backed into the driveway with the antenna close to the rain gutter. So that knocks the power down a little bit. Anyway, Tom I think it was Whiskey 6 Alpha Juliet Sierra, something close to that. Over to you from WE4BY Mobile 6.
Okay, Tom, pick it up. W6 Tango Sierra Juliet, WA6 LDI.
Okay, Phil. Sorry, I had trouble copying the other station. W6LDI and the group, W6TSJ. Okay, good morning to the Soara group, and nice to hear you guys on. Phil, I just wanted to say hello. I don't think we've talked for probably 2 or 3 years, and I hope things are going well for you. Things are okay here. We used to have a lot of vintage equipment, and we sold that off. And right now we're playing around with this new Yaesu FTX1, the little 10-watt job. But we won't hold it here too long because we're probably not getting out that well. But thought I would just say hello, and nice to hear you guys again. That's it from here in Laguna Niguel. We will catch up with you later. WA6LDI and the group, W6TSJ.
Okay, Tom, W6TSJ, WA6LDI. Well, you sound good. You're a good 10 dB over here. That 10 watts is doing an excellent job there for you, so no problem. And by all means, don't be a stranger. We're here every Sunday at 0800 on this frequency, 7.2 megahertz up or down a few kilohertz through the QRM. So please, don't be a stranger and check in as much as you can. Love to have you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Phil. I do appreciate that. And yeah, I have a lot of local noise here. I have a lot of local noise, and it gets as bad as S9 here sometimes. And it makes it hard to work on 40 meters. Thank you for the signal report. You're 20 over 9 here, 73.
Okay, very good there, Tom. Like I said, you're doing really, really well, and glad to have you back on board after such a long time. Okay, let's go to the top of the list. WA6ED to pick it up. This is WA6LDI.
WA6ED. Well, thank you, Phil. Before I forget, we have a 10-meter net on 28.415 at 9 o'clock. Everybody's welcome. We run that net for technicians. Haven't had very many technicians lately, but it gives them an opportunity at least to get on the air locally. And I guess we got to get some more members taking the class, or some more people to get their license, their technician license. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, the 10-meter net's always kind of fun. And every once in a while on 10 meters, I get Rich from Texarkana. He's a past member, very active on the magnetic loop stuff. That was a lot of fun when we worked on that. Soara Saturday was a lot of fun. I talked about it briefly last round. Nano VNA, Tiny SA, Dale brought his spectrum analyzer, and a lot of people did a lot of talking, which is the point. Get people thinking about something on ham radio. That's always a good thing. And maybe try something new and different. It was interesting, though, on the Nano VNA, I brought my rig expert, and the nice thing about the rig expert is you don't have to calibrate, you just use it. It's more of an appliance. But everybody was interested in the Nano VNA, mainly probably because it doesn't cost $600. It's about $150 or so. But some people were there, they were playing around with the RF demo board, and those are fairly inexpensive, so you can educate yourself a lot on Smith charts and then how measurements are taken very quickly if you get that demo board, RF demo board for Nano VNA. I think you can get them on Amazon. But yeah, we had a good time, and no complaints, and we ran out of donuts at the end, so that was good. All right, 10-meter net at 9 o'clock. I need to hand it over to Mike, KE6IWM. Take it away, Mike, WA6ED.
Okay, thank you, Ed. This is Mike, KE6IWM. I'm in Lone Pine for all the new guys that just checked in. And good group. Yeah, a lot of people on here. Good to hear Mel and Steve from Seaside, and everyone else that's checked in. The Bishop net, which I was net control on just a few minutes, at 7:30. About 3 of the regular check-ins were at Quartzsite, And a couple of them checked in, but they were really light. But we had a good check-ins there also. So I think a lot of people are jealous of the people who are out in the field doing field days or courtside type stuff. But yeah, a lot of people on the net, so that's great. What else is going on here? Not too much. I'll tell you what. I'll pass around, see if I have something better to talk about next time around. Maybe one of the topics some of the new guys will bring up. One thing for Chris, hope your bad ankle didn't keep any of those vicious penguins from catching up with you and swarming you. So how'd you like to be attacked by a swarm of penguins in their tuxedo suits? So that sounds like fun. Okay, over to you, Chris. KR6ISS from KE6IWM.
Okay, Mike, it's KR6ISS. Well, on the ship, I checked into what HF stuff they had on the ship. They had a big, huge HF antenna on the ship, and they basically had an open bridge policy because it was kind of a small ship. So when I went up there, you could see in all the radars and various panels and so on, I couldn't see where the HF radio was. And finally, one of the guys on the bridge there said, "Oh, we keep the HF and all the satellite receiving gear in a special secure room, and you're not allowed to go in there." Off to the side. So much for that. There was only one island out of the 4 we went to, the one that was run by Australians called Macquarie, that actually had a manned station on it, a scientific station. And we weren't allowed, we landed next to it, but we weren't allowed to actually even go in it, because they don't want to take any chance of catching any disease from tourists. I did find out that they did have an HF there, but it's all strictly backup now. On the island itself, they've actually put up VHF repeaters so that people can communicate to the base from wherever they were doing research on by VHF repeater. And then out the exterior is all purely satellite. They had a huge satellite dome. We had really great satellite internet on the ship. It was as good as home. So I'm afraid that HF is kind of a non-entity. It's not really used anymore down there. Every ship has to carry a government worker, a government inspector from the New Zealand government to make sure we're not doing something wrong with all these incredibly tight environmental regulations. And I asked her about, whether people could get permission to put amateur radio stations on these islands, and she said she couldn't imagine they'll ever allow it anymore. It's just too tight now. Literally, from one island to the next, we had to take our field clothes and have them inspected by our tour people. Every seam, every pocket, every bit and piece on our clothing to make sure there was no seeds, no particles of anything from one island to the next. That's how anal it's gotten on those islands. They just don't allow anything. It's incredibly regulated. But they've had to spend millions of dollars getting invasive stuff off those islands. They don't have to to do it again. It's a weird, special place. It's not normal, to say the least. The islands themselves are basically peat, and they're basically bombs. It's almost unwalkable. It's like big, huge tussock grasses with pits in between. How do you walk on it? You don't. And so what they've done is they've actually made special wood trails, almost like a dock. And so it's like you're putting a dock over the top of the actual surface that you're walking on. So you can walk on it. And that was the only way we could even get around on these islands, because the actual native surface is almost unwalkable and precarious. And that's why I ended up falling a few times and getting hurt, because everything was so precarious. And then, of course, you got this wind. Oh, my God. Had as much as 50-watt wind. Some of the winds were so high, I couldn't even walk in it. You had to crawl in it. It was, help anybody run an amateur radio station on islands like that is beyond comprehension. I couldn't believe it. Anyway, my fixed waffle's ready, so I'm going to pass it on to Lou. Take it, Lou, KR6ISS.
Well, thank you, Chris, and I am looking forward to seeing some pictures, and I'm wondering why the weather is so bad. It's summertime in the south. Is it because it's so far south and close to the Antarctic? You might comment on its location. As I said, I've been playing with antennas because I was not able to operate cleanly into our local repeater. Unfortunately, from the radio room, I have two buried coaxes out to the back fence, and they are LMR 400, but they're one's probably 100 feet and the other's 150 feet. And so I moved my antenna, one antenna, a Diamond X 300, I think. I moved it to the side fence, and I have the base of it up about 10 feet, and I was able to make it into the repeater there. And then I had an X2000 diamond antenna, which was 6 meters, 2 meters, 440 on the rear fence with about 100 feet of coax. And that did not, with my radio, that did not get me into the repeater. So I switched out that antenna to an X700, which is a 3-section linear, collinear antenna, 17 foot. And I started with the base up about maybe 6 feet. I could make the local repeater, but not with full quieting, with all the line loss of the 150 feet of coax. And I slowly raised that base, and at about, I think it's up about 15 feet now, and I'm making full quieting to the local repeater. So those have been all of my antenna playing around at the present time. And this is with a new radio, a Yaesu 500. So I'm just getting used to that with the programming, but I do love that radio. And with that, I will pass it on. It sounds like we have a great group today. I'll pass it on to George, N6VNI. This is KG6FCT.
George, are you still with us? N6VNI, WA6LDI. Okay, I guess George signed. Let's go on to Jim, N6JCN.
Well, thanks, Phil. And did we miss Mike for IWM up in Lone Pine somewhere along the line?
No, actually, he did make a transmission. He was second on the list.
Okay, I must have missed that. This is N6JCN. I'm up in Fawnskin. I think Steve in Seaside, you asked where I was at. Fawnskin is in the local San Bernardino Mountains, and it's across the lake from Big Bear. It's kind of the anti-Big Bear. It's very nice and quiet. You can hear all the birds. Nice place, about 7,000 foot elevation. And Steve, also I looked at your QRZ page. It looks like you had some flying background. I saw a picture of you with your Cessna 150, and I've flown into Monterey a couple of times. So my project has been largely getting the Cessna TR-182, 1982 version, back online. So got about 17 or 18 hours on the engine, and everything's going great. And so really enjoying that. What else? Chris, I don't know if you're back on, but I've wondered and really thought about going to the Antarctic ever since I read a book that was about the 1910 to to 1913 Scott expedition to the Antarctic. And it was a scientific expedition. They lost several people. Part of that was the race to the South Pole, which they lost to Amundsen. But really interesting stuff, so I'd love to see those pictures as well. Let's see, I don't think that there's much else. I'd like to talk to a few folks offline about calibrating my heat kit that I'm operating on. I do understand that I'm off frequency a little bit, so I think I need to calibrate it. So some of you guys that have more experience than I do, I'd be interested to see if anybody can help me figure out how to calibrate this or have a manual for it. So enough for me. We've got a lot of people online. I think I've got Steve's call sign right this time, WA9EIW. Go ahead and take it.
WA9EIW, that's right. Thank you. And I've got your website, or sorry, QRZ page up, and see that you have some tail dragger experience. I spent all my time in that Cessna 150 flying out of Prescott, Arizona in the 80s. My first introductory flight was done over Yellowstone National Park, or in that area, and I got the bug and moved back to Muncie, Indiana, and that's where the call sign comes from. This is my dad's call sign from the 60s. He attained technician and was on 10 meter sum and 6. I remember him calling CQ 6 meters, and we learned Morse code together. I didn't get licensed until about 3 years ago and applied for his call sign. The airplane, had a lot of fun in that. About halfway through my lessons, I bought that airplane. I traded a car for it. I didn't have a car for a while. I just had an airplane and a bicycle, and was working there at the local college, and rest is history. A few hundred hours in that plane, flying around the mountains, down to Scottsdale Airport, and over Mingus Mountain into Cottonwood and Sedona, flying to breakfast. It's like flying onto an aircraft carrier over there. And I flew into Vegas a few times. Just a lot of fun, taking people for breakfast and stuff. My dad flew in the Air Force back during the Korea War, stationed out of Alaska, and I had a dream of becoming a bush pilot that I decided to do something different, but it was fun. And let's see, Chris and the peat and the bogs, it reminded me of my time in Ireland. You'd go out and take a shovel and make little bricks of the peat and throw it in the fireplace. It was fun. It's just amazed me you could dig something out of the ground and then burn it for heat. And Lou, good luck on your antennas. I have a loop on the ground that's really working for me to being able to cut the noise and hear signals. I think I'm passing it on to Mel. It's a good group here, N6MEL from WA9EIW.
Yeah, WA9EIW and 6MEL. Hopefully I didn't get that suffix reversed around. Well, very good. Don't have a lot of experience flying. I did when I was in college back in Philadelphia. I did have a friend who I flew with a lot. He enjoyed doing grass field landings, which was an awful lot of fun, but sometimes hair-raising. I think it was a Belanca. Was it twin engine? That goes back way too far. And Chris, my only experience in that part of the world is HF to Palmer Station, Antarctica. Had a real nice QSO with, I guess it was a scientist, and he taught me there's no such thing as bad weather, just bad clothing. So I've used that many times, just multiple layers. Let's see, I don't have any other comments here, so I'm just going to pass it on to Dale. And Dale, I apologize, I didn't write down your call sign. And 6MEL.
Oh, no problem, Mel. It's W6CDT. Yeah, interesting conversations. Chris, it sounds like even though it was a physically arduous trip and it had some probably inconveniences and personal comfort and stuff, it sounds like it was fascinating and amazing to be able to participate in that.
And I can certainly understand they don't want to be bringing in amateur radio gear or any other superfluous things onto those islands, although it's kind of too bad, to basically not be able to reach those entities. And probably the DXCC Foundation is going to have to figure out a way to manage entities that will no longer ever be activated. I'm not sure exactly. There's some discussion of that right now, I think, actually. So, yeah, very good. And Steve, yeah, I think it was Steve, WA6, oh gosh, I wrote it down and I missed it. WA6D, either IEW or EIW. I also just installed the loop on ground actually last week, and I'm trying to evaluate it. It seems like it helps for some things, but interestingly enough, I noticed a couple of times where it was picking up noise that the dipole located 40 feet or so above it in physical space didn't pick up. So I'm thinking that the dipole has a common mode choke in the shack, and I'm thinking I need to do the same thing for that loop on ground. I'm probably picking up noise on the outside of coax, which is obviously elevated to get up to the second floor shack. So that's probably what's going on. So I need to find a little core, probably a mixed 43 core, and throw it on there and see how that works. For other things, it works fairly well. It's not as stunning in terms of its ability to reduce noise as I might have thought, but then again, my expectations probably were unreasonable. It is about 30 dB down, 30 dB down from the dipole signal, so I have to run a preamp to really get effective reception. And enough about that. I'll pass it to WE4BY. Greg, I'm hearing you okay. Not as strong as you are when you're way up on the hill, but you were plenty strong for me. WE4BY from W60VT.
Yeah, again, I'm transmitting with my antenna too close to the rain gutter, so I'm going to be a little bit weak. And I'm, like I said, just kind of sitting here working on the VHF radio. I just figured out that the control cable is a different cable, but the good news is I can order one of those thin Ethernet cables, the 8-pin 4-twisted pair of cables, and that should work just fine. I've got a heavier Ethernet cable, and it makes the radio work. So I've got all the pieces figured out. Now I just have to assemble it and stick everything in the truck. So I'm going to keep it going and keep working on that. So Phil, I think I'm going to need you to help me pass it again. Whiskey 6, I think it was Tango Sierra Juliet or something close to that. Tom from WE4BY.
That's correct, Greg. W6 Tango Sierra Juliet to pick it up. This is WA6 LDI. Okay, that was Tom. Apparently he signed. Let's see, we got about 20 minutes left. Let me see if we can bring anyone else on board. This is WA6 LDI net control for the Soara Sunday morning 40-meter net. Again, this is an open net. All licensed amateurs are welcome to check in. Do we have anyone wishing to do so? Please come now.
Kilo November 6 Hotel India, Steve.
Well, good morning to you, Steve. Kilo November 6 Hotel India, or HI, I should say. This is WA6 LDI. How you doing today?
Very good. I thought I'd make sure I didn't miss the opportunity to get in the log on this historic net that we're having here. We've got quite a few folks. I've really enjoyed listening, and I just wanted to say I wanted to get in here. I'm going to actually have to go QRT here in a second, but it's been great to listen to all of this going on. So up here on the hill in Laguna de Guel, putting out 35 watts with this mobile unit, and I'm on Flying Cloud. Did I say that already? I don't know. I think I'm up about 800 feet or so, and I hear everybody really well. I hesitated, so now that I found that it sounded like Tom had signed, I was worried about that, because I was getting him at 40 over, even at 10 watts here, so we might be close together. So anyway, there's that. And I'll just say 73 to everybody, and back to you, Phil. WA6LDI. This is Steve KN6HI. 73, everybody.
Okay, very good, Steve. KN6HI, WA6LDI. You've got a good signal, good solid 5.9, no problem. The 35 watts, doing an outstanding job there for you. Well, by all means, we're here every Sunday. I'm not sure if you're aware of that on this frequency. So please check in when you get a chance. Okay, we got about 15 minutes left, so we have time here for a 73 go-around. So let's go to the top of the list, WA6ED, WA6LDI.
WA6ED. Well, thanks, Phil, and good net. I got my 3D printer going, getting ready for the 10-meter net on 28.415. It's turning into a pretty good Sunday. No complaints. Okay, thanks, Phil, for running it. Over to Mike, KE6IWM. 73, everybody, WA6ED.
Okay, thank you, Ed. You have a good day and enjoy your 10-meter net. This is Mike, KE6IWM in Lone Pine. Good crew today, Phil, and lots of good stories. So hopefully, Steve and Steve's side, trade your car for an airplane and just have a plane and a bike. At least you can carry the bike and the plane, maybe. You probably can. Maybe have to take a wheel off. But you can't do that with a car, that's for sure. So that might be a good combination. Maybe even an electric bike. So when you get to the places, you have wheels. So, but that's fun. Cool talking to you guys, Greg, and got a couple pilots on the frequency now. So sounds really good. Let's see. Yeah, it's too bad you can't really go down to the Antarctic, or, if you have to go on a cruise ship or go to established places that don't allow you to use radio. About the only way I guess you could do it if you have your own boat, some type of get down there, maritime mobile. But yeah, that's too bad, the restrictions. I know you used to be able to do that on cruise ships, and they're more open about using radios, but oh well. That's too bad. The opportunity was there, and so one question, I've never been in the Southern Hemisphere. I've been in the tropics, Cabo San Lucas, and I've been to Hawaii. I'm not sure which is farther south. I'll have to check it out on the map, but never farther than those two spots. So that's just to get it in the Southern Hemisphere might be an experience to do. So, okay, well, everyone have a great week. Nice crew today, and thank you, Phil, for running the net. And I'll say 73s to everyone. And turn it over to Chris, KR6ISS from KE6IWM. Take it, Chris.
All righty, it's KR6ISS. With the only New Zealand offshore islands I was able to ever log from my de-expedition station was the Kermadec Islands, which are not sub-Antarctic. They're the other direction. They're tropical. They're north of New Zealand, but also uninhabited. And there was a de-expedition there in 2010. I said L8X, and I did log them. But I've never heard about anything else from New Zealand islands since. Basically, what I did accomplish is I did add 2 DXCC entities to my list of places I've actually physically been to. The subantarctic islands of New Zealand is ZL9, and Macquarie Island in Australia is VK0. So that brings my total to 127 entities actually physically been to. So those two were a little bit painful to add, but they were different. I think that these islands are just all these nature preserve type islands that have all kinds of unique plants and animals, and they're very sensitive. They can't take anything from the outside getting in there, and so on and so forth. I think it's just going to get increasingly difficult for the expeditions to get approved, because it's gotten so anal in the regulations on these things. I just couldn't believe it. I was boggled, really, what we had to go through. And I can understand it, because in the past, they were ravaged, and they've had to spend millions of dollars to get rats and mice and goats and cats and all kinds of crap off these islands that are screwing everything up. So it's understandable, but unfortunate. Okay, I'm going to try to rest up and try to get back and whack here for next week. 73, everybody, and I'll send it over to Lou, Care 6 ISS.
Oh, actually,
let's see. ISS in the group.
Well, it was George.
AG6FCT.
N6JCN,
please
WA6LDI.
send me some of those pictures. I sure enjoy it and appreciate it. And back to my antenna thoughts, I think my next project, and they say if it's not broken, don't fix it. I'm using an inverted V for 40, and I'm thinking my rear fence line is 100 feet. So it's just a little short for an 80 meter inverted V. But I'm going to try, I think, a Cobra Junior. That's 76 feet. My only concern is the twin feed line, and of course I'm planning on hooking that up to a coax. But that twin line, how to handle it, it'll go, the feed point will go on top of a flagpole that I think is about 18 feet tall or 15 feet tall. If the twin lead feed line is longer than that, how to handle it. I know I shouldn't coil it, but maybe if I run it off the ground parallel, that'll be okay. We'll see. Great hearing everybody today. What a wonderful turnout. I'll say my 73s, looking forward to next week. I'll listen into the end. So with that, I'll turn it over to Jim N6 JCM. This is KG6FCT.
KG6FCT and 6JCN, you are 20 over. And so whatever you're doing up there, we usually have a good pipeline, but you're coming in extraordinarily well and clear. And the Cobra Junior, I'm running it right now. And I also operate a Cobra Junior in Laguna Niguel. And I will say that the antenna, one moment here, the antenna is relatively insensitive to set up to whether you coil the wire or you string it out along the ground. I've found that both work, Lou. So if you have restrictions as far as needing to coil a little bit of it, I don't think it will be a problem. I will give one shout out to the Big Bear Amateur Radio Club. They have meetings once a month, and that was just yesterday. And they're picking up members, and they support the Kodiak 100-mile race. So they had a really interesting session on the four-wheel driving that they did to set up relief stations for the runners. I can't believe that they're doing these ultra marathons. And they have a repeater up on the ski hills behind Bear Mountain. And I think a lot of Southern Californians use that 2-meter repeater. And they also have nets, and I think it's 3.935 on Saturday mornings at 8. And there's an interesting group of characters there as well, so I usually try to check in. So a great group. Thank you, Phil, for hosting. And I will turn it over to Steve in Seaside, WA9EIW from N6JCN.
N6JCN, this is WA9EIW, and thanks for including me in the group, everybody. This has been fun this morning. When I flew in the mountains in Arizona, I had a pretty large cargo area behind the two seats, but you couldn't put very much weight back there, but it was just right for the bicycle, but had to take both wheels off. And I did fly over the Mingus over to Cottonwood and the Verde Valley for 5Ks. I used to be a runner. I still hike a lot, and I did some long-distance cycling as well, but I'm not in the shape I was when I was in my 30s and 40s, so I'm in my 70s now. But great to talk to everybody, 73, and on to pass it on to Mel in 6MEO.
Yeah, WA9EIW. 7-3s to you, Phil. Thanks so much for running the net today. I always enjoy it. And being from Huntington Beach for 40 years, before moving up here to Sonoma County, it's always fun to talk and listen to folks from the old stomping ground. Well, I'll say 7-3s to all. Keep it short here. And over to Dale, N6MEL, 7-3.
Well, thank you, Al. Excuse me a second. Need a cough switch, which I guess I have. One of the things, Chris is probably not still around, but one of the things that the DX guys are doing is they're doing these radios in a box approach, where they basically put the radio on the island and or on the entity, whatever it is, and then talk to it. They are in a boat offshore, and they talk to it, so there's no human presence on the island except for putting the radio box there and then taking the radio box away, and the antennas, of course. So maybe that'll help with these more sensitive areas. Yeah, Jim, it's kind of cool that the Big Bear guys are doing the ultramarathon. Soara has also done that, although not necessarily as part of Soara, but Soara members. We had a 50-mile race down here that we needed off-road vehicles to get to the aid stations. It was kind of fun. Anyway, with that, I know it's getting late, 73 all, and I'm going to go over to 10 meters if I can. W6EDT over to WE4BY.
All right, W6EDT, WE4BY. Yeah, nice chatting with everybody today. Hope everybody has a great week. I'm certainly looking forward to getting out in Quartzsite in a couple of days. Unbelievably good weather we've been having here for a long time, so I'm hoping it holds up for another week. Station after me, I think Tom checked out, and I forget who was after that. So Bill, W6LDI, I'm going to let you pass it for me and say 7-3 from WE4BY.
Okay, Tom, are you still with us? W6 Tango Sierra Juliet. Okay, believe you did sign. Steve, KN6HI, are you still with us? Okay, I guess Steve also signed. Alrighty, gentlemen, I want to thank everyone for checking in. We had, looks like a total of 13 people that have checked in. A couple did sign, but really great turnout this morning. So I want to thank everyone for checking in again. Hopefully we'll chat with you all again next Sunday. So let me close the net at this point. This is WA6LDI Net Control for the South Orange Amateur Radio Association Sunday morning 40-meter net. The net is now closed and the frequencies return to normal use. 73 all. Have a wonderful week, and we'll look for you again down the log. This is WA6LDI now off and clear. Take care, everyone.